One bullet, that's all it took to shake the foundations of civilization. What started as a political assassination exploded into a war so vast, so devastating, that the world would never be the same. This isn't just history, it's a story about you, about the world you live in, born from the chaos of war. Welcome to the first chapter of World War I, a war that was supposed to end quickly but became a global nightmare. Sarajevo, June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, is assassinated by Gavrilo Princip, a 19-year-old Serbian nationalist. The world holds its breath. Austria-Hungary blames Serbia and delivers an ultimatum. Serbia complies, mostly, but not enough. Russia steps in to protect Serbia. Germany stands with Austria. France prepares for war. Germany invades Belgium, trying to outflank France. Britain, protector of Belgian neutrality, declares war on Germany. A regional dispute becomes a continental war. A continental war becomes global. What began as a diplomatic crisis becomes a war machine fueled by alliances and old grudges. Allies: France, Britain, Russia, and later Italy, Japan, and the United States. Central powers: Germany, Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. Everyone had made promises, binding treaties built to protect peace. But when one domino fell, the rest collapsed with it. The leaders promised victory by Christmas. Instead, they unleashed 4 years of blood, mud, and fire. Germany unleashes the Schlieffen plan: defeat France quickly in the west, then turn east to face Russia. But first, they invade Belgium. Belgium resists fiercely. Civilians are killed, towns are burned, the world watches in horror. Britain enters the war. In France, the Germans push dangerously close to Paris. But at the First Battle of the Marne, French and British forces stop the advance. Germany retreats. Meanwhile, in the east, Russia mobilizes faster than expected. German commanders Paul von Hindenburg and Erich Ludendorff crush the Russians at Tannenberg. But it's clear, this war will not be won. After the Marne, soldiers dig in. From the North Sea to Switzerland, a 400-mile line of trenches slices across Europe. Welcome to the Western Front. Life in the trenches is hell. Mud sucks at your boots. Rats nibble at the dead. You sleep in shifts, eat cold rations, and wait for the next whistle. The ground between you and the enemy? No man's land. A death zone filled with barbed wire and corpses. Every day, artillery rains from the sky. When the call comes, you go over the top into machine gun fire. Few return. Imagine waking to the sound of explosions. You're soaked, hungry, and haven't changed clothes in weeks. The stench of death is everywhere. Mud, blood, and sewage mix in the trenches. Shell shock, what we now call PTSD, ravages minds. Disease takes more lives than bullets. Gas attacks, clouds of green and yellow, creep silently through the air. You scramble for your gas mask, praying it works. But amid the horror, humanity flickers. On Christmas Eve 1914, British and German soldiers meet in no man's land. They share cigarettes, songs, and a football match. Then the shells return. 1916, the Battle of Verdun begins. 10 months, 300 days of shelling, fire, and blood. The French vow, they shall not pass. Over 700,000 casualties. Then the Somme. To relieve pressure on Verdun, the Allies launch an offensive. On the first day, Britain loses 57,000 men. 5 months later, over 1 million men are dead or wounded. For what? A few miles of land. In the east, Russia launches the Brusilov offensive, one of the most successful and deadly assaults of the war. They gain ground but lose over 1 million men. The price of every inch is paid in blood. World War I truly becomes global. In Africa, European colonies become battlefields. In Asia, Japan seizes German territories in China and the Pacific. In the Middle East, the British support Arab uprisings against the Ottoman Empire. T.E. Lawrence of Arabia, leads daring desert raids that become legend. Colonial troops, Indian, African, Anzacs from Australia and New Zealand, fight and die in foreign lands. They serve empires that barely recognize them. This isn't just Europe's war anymore. The whole world is bleeding. Technology should have brought progress. Instead, it brought destruction. Machine guns mow down waves of soldiers. Artillery tears men apart from miles away. Poison gas blinds, burns, and chokes. Flamethrowers, grenades, tanks, and airplanes turn battlefields into nightmares. The first air battles take place above the trenches. Zeppelins drop bombs on London. Civilians are no longer safe. Science is no savior. It is the engine of death. By 1917, the world is exhausted. In France, mutinies erupt. Soldiers refuse to attack. In Britain, rationing begins. The economy strains. In Russia, revolution explodes. The Tsar is overthrown. The Eastern Front begins to collapse. Empires crack, millions are dead. and still there is no end in sight. But across the Atlantic, a new force is stirring. A nation with fresh troops, vast resources, and the will to act. This was just the beginning. The great powers believed war would be quick and glorious. Instead, they dug graves across continents, and as the old world collapses, a new one rises from its ashes and bones. Part 2. The Collapse and the Reckoning. Coming soon. The world will never be the same.